Hi, this is Vanessa from Herbs of Grace Healing Arts, traditional naturopath and author of Metamorphosis, Rituals, Spells, and Natural Remedies for Peri, Mid, and Postmenopausal Women. And today, in our series about plant allies for the menopausal journey, I want to talk about dandelion. How many of you know the medicinal uses of that common weed that everybody seems to be trying to get rid of, the dandelion plant? I often say that it is probably the most useful plant in your yard. And so instead of weeding the dandelions out, maybe we should be weeding the grass out and encouraging the dandelions to grow. So the dandelion plant has so many different uses, and virtually all parts of the plant are medicinal. And so most of the time we see the root being used. We can also use the leaves, and fortunately these days, sometimes you can see dandelion leaves available in your grocery store in the produce aisle, most often in a health food store. Also, the flowers are useful. So one of the things that I like to do with the flowers is to pick them when they are a couple of days before full bloom. If you pick the dandelion flowers when they're in full bloom, you may have done this before and noticed that after about a day as you're drying them, they go to seed. They seem to be in full flower, beautiful golden petals, and the next day you go and look at them and they're all the little dandelion puffs, and they've gone to seed overnight or over a day or so. They are so resilient that even after they have been plucked, they're still um, they're still shifting and changing into their seed form so that they can go and plant themselves and grow in new places. So it's a wonderful metaphor for resiliency. And often where we see dandelions growing are a great metaphor for resiliency, growing in the cracks of sidewalks, in places where we don't expect any plant to be able to flourish. So dandelions have really, really resilient, potent medicine. And the flowers, as I was saying, I love to infuse in a nice organic olive oil and then use that as a breast massage. So women who have lumpy breasts, who have cysts and growths, or just a lot of tenderness in their breasts, uh, the dandelion flower oil can be really, really helpful for that. And the leaves and the root have similar properties. The leaves are a little bit more diuretic, but I like to make a remedy combining both the leaves and the roots, especially if I'm tincturing or if I'm making a vinegar out of dandelion. Dandelion is a great herb to make a vinegar from if you're going to tincture it, because the vinegar pulls out minerals, whereas an alcohol-based tincture doesn't get those minerals out. So if you are using dandelion specifically for its mineral content, then choose a vinegar tincture. And dandelion is chock full of minerals. So it's a great choice for the vinegar tincture. It also has a lot of great uses for us in menopause. One of the things that we hear often about dandelion is it is a great liver herb. And that is true. It's very, very nourishing to the liver, partly because of its high mineral content. And during the menopausal journey, the liver has a really big job because the liver has to metabolize any surplus or excess hormones. And so when our hormones are shifting, we often end up having excess hormones that are circulating throughout our bodies, especially if there's a lot of stress going on, which is often the case during menopause for many reasons, that can be impacting the uh, the estrogen and the progesterone production. And so the liver has a really big job to do. So, really loving on the liver, nourishing it, nurturing it is one of the most important things that we can be doing throughout the perimenopausal, mid, or postmenopausal phases of this journey. And the other thing that I really love about dandelion is that it actually has the ability to help the liver to make high quality fats versus low quality fats. And so this is something that not a lot of herbs can boast. And so it can be helpful for people who are really wanting to find a healthy weight for them. It can be helpful for diabetics. It can be helpful for those people who are wanting to normalize their blood sugar production. Another thing that dandelion can help be with is hot flashes and other symptoms of menopause. Again, because it is strengthening and nourishing and helping the liver to do a better job. And many of the reasons that we're experiencing these symptoms is because our hormones are unbalanced and because we have a lot of free circulating hormones. And so again, going back to this aspect of dandelion being able to help the liver do a better job of metabolizing our hormones. Um, Another thing that I want to speak to, particularly for women who are concerned about their weight or experiencing some fluctuations or some weight gain, even though they're not doing anything differently in their lives. This is very common during the menopausal journey. And both dandelion leaf and the root can help to prevent weight gain that might be associated with water retention. And it also helps to prevent or normalize weight in people who have the inability to metabolize fat well. So dandelion has a number of different things that we've talked about here. There have also been a number of scientific studies that have shown that dandelion can help stop the promotion of oncogenes. So this is when if oncogenes are damaged or turned on, then that can initiate the growth of cancerous tumors. And so dandelion is being studied as a as one of the supports that people can use to prevent cancer. I also just want to take a minute to talk about some of the minerals and vitamins. So um, dandelion can help strengthen your bones by improving calcium absorption. It's very high in phytoestrogens. It's high in vitamins like vitamin A and vitamin C. It's high in iron and potassium trace minerals. Dandelion is also really good for hypertension. And it's a really wonderful herb. It's a really wonderful heart herb, specifically because a lot of the hypertension or other pharmaceutical drugs that people might be on for healthy heart deplete potassium. Dandelion not only helps strengthen the heart and is good for things like hypertension, it also includes potassium. It has a high level of potassium. So it doesn't deplete potassium, it actually restores potassium levels. So those are just some of the high notes, hitting some of the reasons why dandelion is such a great herb and a great plant ally for us during the menopausal journey. So if you want to learn more, if you are interested in working with me to help you navigate your menopausal journey in a natural way using nature as your guide, you can visit my website, herbsofgracehealingarts.com. You can also find me at Herbs of Grace Healing Arts on Facebook and Herbs of Grace on Instagram. And let me know what your experience is with dandelion, or if you have any questions about using the potent medicine of dandelion. And I'd also love it if you would like and subscribe. Thank you and have a wonderful week.